Good morning, student. So today this is our second lecture on dual nature of radiation and matter. In the very first lecture we had seen the various observations made by scientists during late 19th century regarding the phenomena of photoelectric effect. So as far as those observations are concerned, most of them they cannot be explained by considering wave theory of electromagnetic radiation. The very first observation that photoelectrons are instantaneously emitted when light is allowed to incident on a metal surface. Means one of the observation is what? Continuous or instantaneous emission of electron. Instantaneous emission of electron, instantaneous emission of electron on incidence of light. Means when a surface of metal on a metal surface, when light is allowed to incident, then we know that electrons are emitted from the metal surface instantaneously, it is observed. If this wave theory of electromagnetic radiation is used to explain whether emission of electron, instantaneous emission of electron from the surface of metal is possible or not, then remember that if light propagates in the form of wave, when light is allowed to incidence on the metal surface in the form of wave, then that incidence energy will be absorbed by the metal surface continuously. That is, free electrons near the metal surface, they will absorb the energy continuously and they will take, that metal surface will take a reasonable time. Metal surface will take what? A reasonable time to accumulate the sufficient amount of energy so that electrons can knock off from the surface of metal. Means according to wave theory of electromagnetic radiation, the time required by an electron in the metal surface or near the surface of metal to knock off the metal surface is reasonable, that is, it is within few minutes to that of few hours. Free electrons near the surface of metal, they will take a reasonable time to accumulate the sufficient energy. That time may be what? It may be few minutes, it may be few hours. Then only they can knock off the electron from the surface of metal. Means according to wave theory of electromagnetic radiation, emission of electron from the surface of metal under the action of light is not an instantaneous process, or according to wave theory, photoelectric emission is not an instantaneous process. Photoelectric emission is not an instantaneous process. Similarly, according to wave theory of light, if the intensity of light is large, if light of greater intensity is allowed to incident on the surface of metal. Intensity means energy incident on the surface of metal per unit area per unit time is large. Where intensity of incident radiation is large, energy incident per unit area per unit time on the surface of metal is large. It means these free electrons near the surface of metal, they will take a small time to knock off from the surface of metal. So remember, greater the intensity of incidence radiation, smaller is the time required to knock off the electron. Whereas if intensity of incidence radiation is small, means energy incident per unit area per unit time is small, it means time required to knock off the electron from the surface of metal, it is large. But the actual observation which were made while performing the experiment on photoelectric experiment, they are exactly contradictory to this result. Means the time required to knock off the electron will be more if intensity of incidence radiation is more. Time required to knock off the electron will be less if intensity of incidence radiation is what? Less. So this is one of the major failure of wave theory of light to explain the observation of photoelectric effect. Now as far as this second failure is concerned, before just discussing the second failure, let us try to calculate what is the time required to knock off the electron. Means what is the time required for photocurrent to start when light is incident on the surface of metal at the moment when incidence radiations were allowed to incident on the metal surface. We know that electrons are emitted from the surface of metal. What is the time required for emission of electron? We want to find out the time required to knock off the electron. So before that, we must first define what is photoelectric work function. Now as far as metals are concerned, we know that metals are good conductors of heat as well as current, electricity. So the conductivity of metal regarding heat or electric current is concerned, it depends on the presence of large number of free electrons in it. Greater the number of free electrons available in a metal, greater will be its conductivity both for heat as well as for what? Electric current. Now as far as these free electrons are concerned, these free electrons, they are free to move inside the metal only. Means their motion is confined within the metal. Anyhow, these free electrons, they were not allowed to escape the surface of metal. You can escape these free electrons from the surface of metal provided these free electrons, they must be provided with what? A sufficient energy. Then only they can escape from the surface of metal. So remember that as far as photoelectric work function is concerned, what is photoelectric work function? It is the minimum amount of energy. It is the minimum amount of energy that must be required to provided, that must be required to be provided to what? Free electron in order to pull it out of metal from the surface. In order to pull it out from the metal surface, in order to pull it out from the metal surface, that minimum amount of energy required by free electron to escape from the surface of metal is called photoelectric work function. Remember, from board point of view, you must remember the exact definition. The minimum amount of energy required to be provided to an electron, to pull it out of metal, from the surface, is called photoelectric work function. And this photoelectric work function, actually it is the property of the metal of which that emitter plate is made up of. It is different for different metals of which that emitter plate is made up of. Actually, this photoelectric work function is measured in terms of or in the unit of energy, that is joule, or in what? Electron volt. Now remember, according to wave theory, the maximum kinetic energy of ejected photoelectron, it depends on intensity. According to what? According to wave theory. What wave theory says? That greater the intensity of incidence radiation, means large energy is incident per unit area per unit time. Means electrons are ejected from the surface of metal with what? With greater kinetic energy. In other words, according to wave theory of electromagnetic radiation, what wave theory of electromagnetic radiation says, greater the intensity of incidence radiation, means large energy is incident per unit area per unit time, means electrons are emitted from the metal surface with a maximum kinetic energy, that is maximum kinetic energy of emitted photoelectron. It will depends on intensity of incidence radiation. But in actual practice, what actual observation shows, that the maximum kinetic energy of ejected photoelectron, it depends on the frequency of incidence radiation, but maximum kinetic energy is independent of independent of what? Independent of intensity of incident radiation. So the second point of difference means the second failure, that by using wave theory of light, what wave theory of electromagnetic radiation says, that the maximum kinetic energy of emitted photoelectron, it depends on intensity. Greater the intensity, greater will be the maximum kinetic energy. Smaller the intensity of incidence radiation, smaller is the kinetic energy of photoelectrons emitted. But in actual practice, we know that the maximum kinetic energy of photoelectron is independent of intensity of incidence radiation, but it depends on what? The frequency of incidence radiation. The third failure, that according to wave theory of electromagnetic radiation, photoelectric emission occurs. For the occurrence of photoelectric emission, means there will be an emission of photoelectrons if the intensity of incidence radiation is large, whatever may be the frequency, whether frequency of incidence radiation is small or greater, whatever may be the frequency of incidence radiation, if the intensity of incidence radiation is large, then definitely there will be photoelectric emission occurs. This is according to what? Wave theory of light. But in actual practice, we know for photoelectric emission to occur, there will be a photoelectric emission. For occurrence of photoelectric emission, we know that photoelectric emission occurs only when frequency of incidence radiation is greater than a certain minimum frequency called as threshold frequency. Means if the frequency of incidence radiation is greater than threshold frequency, then only there will be a photoelectric emission. If frequency of incidence radiation is less than threshold frequency, then there will be no photoelectric emission. That minimum frequency of incidence radiation, above which there is photoelectric emission, below which there is no photoelectric emission, is known as a threshold frequency. Is known as what? Threshold frequency. And this threshold frequency is a property of metal of an emitter plate. Now, for occurrence of photoelectric emission, frequency of incidence radiation, it must be, nu must be greater than what? Nu 0. If the frequency of incidence radiation is greater than threshold frequency, whatever may be the intensity of light, even when we are having a light of very low intensity, but of frequency nu greater than threshold frequency nu 0, there will be a photoelectric emission. Means occurrence of photoelectric emission, it depends on frequency and not on intensity. That is the actual observation. Whereas according to wave theory of electromagnetic radiation, photoelectric emission occurs only when intensity of incidence radiation is very, very high, whatever may be the frequency of incidence radiation. So these observations as per wave theory of light, they are exactly contradictory to the actual observation. So these are the three failures of wave theory of electromagnetic radiation while performing what? While making the observations on photoelectric effect. by using Max Planck's quantization of energy. What Max Planck suggests? That in order to explain the spectrum of black body radiation, according to Max Planck, light is made up of bundles of energy or packets of energy, and the energy carried by bundles of energy or packets of energy is E equal to n into h into nu. And this postulate is based on the assumption that every atom it behaves like a tiny oscillator. Later on, as far as Einstein is concerned, he had made use of quantization of energy, which was actually proposed by what? Max Planck. But Einstein's generalized this energy of quantization to all types of electromagnetic radiation, whereas Max Planck's quantization of energy is useful in order to explain the spectrum of only what? Black body radiation. So according to Einstein, Einstein generalized quantization of energy to all types of electromagnetic radiation, and Einstein's in 1905 made a statement or given a hypothesis that under certain condition light behaves like a particle. Under certain condition, light behaves like a particle, and that particle will absorb or liberate the energy. That particle will absorb or liberate the energy in the form of bundle of energy, which he call it as a quantum. Which he call it as what? A quanta. So according to Einstein, this quantum of energy, he had given a new name or a special name to this quantum of energy of which that light is made up of. That name given to quantum of energy is photon, and the energy carried by each photon E is equal to h into nu. According to Albert Einstein, light is made up of, or light behaves like a particle under certain circumstances. Light behaves like what? A particle. That particle will absorb or liberate the energy in the form of what? Bundles of energy, which we call it as a quantum. So each quanta will carry an amount of energy E equal to h nu, where nu represent the frequency of source of light, and h is Planck's constant, and the value of Planck's constant is 6.626 into 10 to the power minus 34 joule second. Minus 34 joule second. Now, as far as this relation is concerned, this relation is known as Einstein's relation. And look at this equation or relation. E is what? Energy. It is the property possessed by a particle, whereas nu is the frequency. It is the property possessed by a wave. So a particle like property and wave like property, they are related to each other with the help of Einstein's relation E equal to h into nu. And it says that the energy of electromagnetic radiation is directly proportional to what? Frequency of radiation, and because V is equal to n lambda, therefore n is equal to V by lambda, it means nu is equal to C by lambda. So the energy of electromagnetic radiation is directly proportional to frequency, and it is inversely proportional to what? The wavelength of incidence radiation. Now we will see that how Einstein's postulate of quantization of energy can explain all the observations which were made while performing an experiment on photoelectric effect. Now we know that very first observation regarding the experiment on photoelectric effect, what is that first observation? That there will be a photoelectric emission, there will be a photoelectric emission if the frequency of incidence radiation is greater than or equal to a certain minimum frequency. If frequency of incidence radiation is less than a certain minimum frequency, then there will be no photoelectric emission. If frequency of incidence radiation is greater than or equal to certain minimum frequency, then only there will be a photoelectric emission. That minimum frequency of incidence radiation, at or above which there is photoelectric emission and below which there is no photoelectric emission, is called threshold frequency. So the first observation will give us the condition required for occurrence of photoelectric emission, that the frequency of incidence radiation should be greater than or equal to what? A threshold frequency. Now, according to Einstein's postulates of quantization of energy, when ultraviolet radiation, look at this is the experimental setup. When ultraviolet radiations, they were allowed to incident on the metal surface. I will redraw here. This is a metal surface. And when ultraviolet radiations, they were allowed to incidence on the metal surface. Radiation is made up of what? Radiation, according to Einstein's postulates of quantization of energy. Light is made up of bundle of energy, which we call it as quanta or photon. Energy carried by each quanta is h nu. So when ultraviolet radiations were allowed to incident on the metal surface, means there occurs a collision between quanta which carries h nu amount of energy with free electron near the metal surface. So there occurs elastic collision between quanta or photon and the free electron. So when ultraviolet radiations were allowed to incident on the emitter plate, there occurs elastic collision between quanta of energy h nu with free electron near the metal surface. And because this collision is elastic collision, the entire h nu amount of energy carried by quanta or photon will be transferred to the free electron. After the transfer of h nu amount of energy to the electron, photon no longer exists, because photon is nothing but what? Bundle of energy. When total energy is transferred to the free electron, existence of photon will not be there. Now, if the energy gained by this free electron is greater than or equal to photoelectric work function, which is a property of metal of an emitter plate. If the energy absorbed by free electron is greater than or equal to photoelectric work function, then only there will be an emission of electron from the surface of metal. But remember, because this photoelectric work function phi 0 is equal to what? H into nu 0, where nu 0 is known as a threshold frequency. It means for the occurrence of photoelectric emission, according to Einstein's postulates of quantization of energy, energy absorbed by the electrons, which is actually the energy carried by a photon of incidence radiation, if energy absorbed by electron is greater than or equal to what? Greater than or equal to photoelectric work function, means nu frequency of incidence radiation is greater than or equal to threshold frequency, then only there will be an emission of photoelectron. Whatever may be the intensity of light, even though we are having a light of low intensity, but if frequency of incidence radiation is greater than or equal to what? Threshold frequency, it means energy gained by an electron will be more than or equal to what? Photoelectric work function, then only there will be an emission of electron from the surface of metal, or photoelectric emission occurs, whatever may be the intensity of light. Whereas if the frequency of incidence radiation nu is less than the threshold frequency, means energy gained by free electron in the metal surface is less than h nu 0, means energy gained by electron is less than that of photoelectric work function, means energy gained by electron is not sufficient to liberate the electron from the surface of metal. In other words, we can say, if the frequency of incidence radiation is less than threshold frequency, energy gained by electron is not sufficient to liberate the electron from the surface of metal, whatever may be the intensity of light. Even though we are having a light of very, very high intensity, but if its frequency is less than threshold frequency, because energy gained by electron is less than photoelectric work function, no photoelectric emission will occur. So in this way, Einstein's postulates of quantization of energy can explain the first observation. What is the first observation? That there will be a photoelectric emission only when the frequency of incidence radiation is greater than or equal to threshold frequency. If nu is less than nu 0, that is frequency of incidence radiation is less than the threshold frequency, then there will be no photoelectric emission. Now the second observation of photoelectric effect, it is regarding that photoelectric emission, means photoelectric effect is an instantaneous process. So the moment when light is allowed to incident on the surface of metal, immediately there will be an emission of electron from the surface of metal. In a time of 10 to the power minus 7 seconds, electrons will be emitted from the surface of metal. So the second observation, it is regarding what? Instantaneous phenomena, photoelectric effect, or there will be an instantaneous emission of electron. Electrons are emitted instantaneously, instantaneous emission of electron from the surface of metal on incidence of light. Means on the metal surface, on the emitter plate, as soon as the light is allowed to incidence, at the same time there will be an emission of electron from the surface of metal. Means there is no time lag between the incidence of light and emission of electron. That is, photoelectric effect is an instantaneous process. Now to explain this observation, according to Einstein's postulates of quantization of energy, light is made up of what? Light consists of bundles of energy or packets of energy, which he call it as a photon. So when light is allowed to incident on the metal surface, so actually there occurs a collision between, elastic collision between quanta which carries h nu amount of energy with a free electron in the metal surface. And whenever two bodies they undergoes elastic collision, there is a complete transfer of energy from one body to other body. Means the entire h nu amount of energy carried by a photon will be transferred to the free electron instantaneously in a very short duration of time, in a fraction of microsecond. That energy of photon will be transferred to the electron, and as electron gains h nu amount of energy which is greater than that of photoelectric work function, then immediately there will be an emission of electron from the surface of metal. So there will be no time lag between the incidence of light and emission of electron. That is, photoelectric emission is an instantaneous process, because according to quantization of energy, light is made up of photon, and when light is allowed to incident on metal surface, means there occurs a collision between what? There occurs elastic collision between photon and free electron. Because this collision is elastic, so there will be a complete transfer of energy from one particle to other particle in a fraction of microsecond. So that's why electrons were emitted immediately at the moment when light is allowed to incident on it. That is, photoelectric emission is an instantaneous process. Similarly, If the light which is allowed to incident on the metal surface is switched off, then there will not be any transfer of energy from photon to electron. Means no electrons will be emitted from the surface of metal, means emission of photoelectrons will be immediately stopped at the moment when light allowed to incident on metal surface is stopped. So remember that second observation, photoelectric emission is an instantaneous process, or there will be an instantaneous emission of electron from the metal surface when light is allowed to incident. It can be explained by using what? Postulates of quantization of energy. Now, as far as this third observation is concerned, what is that third observation? It is regarding the intensity of light. As you know that if we plot a graph of photoelectric current versus intensity of incident radiation, it is a straight line passing through origin. It means that photoelectric current will increases with increase in intensity of incident radiation. What is the third observation? Photoelectric current, it varies linearly with variation in intensity of light. Means photoelectric current is directly proportional to intensity of incident light. Now, how it can be explained? By using Einstein's postulates of quantization of energy. Remember, greater the intensity of light, when I say intensity of light is large, it means the energy incident per unit area per unit time is more, or increase in the intensity of light. When I increase the intensity of light, then number of photons which were incident on unit area in a unit interval of time, number of photons colliding per unit area per unit time, increase in intensity of light will increases number of photons colliding per unit area per unit time, number of photons that are colliding with free electrons per unit area per unit time on that metal surface. As the number of collision between photons and electrons increases, it means more number of electrons are emitted from the metal of emitter plate. Means photoelectric current will goes on increases. Remember, greater the intensity of light, it means it consists of large number of photons. So with the increase in intensity of light, number of photons striking over unit area of emitter plate in a unit interval of time will be increased. And as the number of collision between photons and electron increases, naturally more electrons are emitted from the emitter plate, which ultimately increases the photoelectric current. Whereas if the intensity of incident radiation is lower, if intensity of incident radiation is what? Small, it means less number of photons were colliding with free electron per unit area per unit time. As the number of photons colliding per unit area per unit time with the free electron in a metal surface is reduced, it means number of electrons emitted per unit time from the emitter plate is reduced. Ultimately, it means photoelectric current will decreases with a decrease in intensity of light. So by using quantization of energy by Einstein, greater the intensity of light, it means more will be the number of collision between what? Number of photons colliding per unit area per unit time with free electron will be more. As the number of collision between photon and electron increases, means more electrons will be emitted, means more is the photoelectric current. Means greater the intensity of incident light, greater will be the photoelectric current. Whereas if the intensity of incident light is reduced, what is the effect of reducing the intensity of incident light? Number of photons colliding with free electrons per unit area per unit time will be reduced. As the number of collision is reduced, naturally number of electrons emitted, they are reduced. And because photoelectric current is nothing but number of electrons emitted per second, so naturally photoelectric current will also decreases. So this will explain the third observation regarding the experiment on photoelectric effect. Now we will see what is that fourth observation. Now the fourth observation regarding the experiment on photoelectric effect is that if intensity of incident radiation as well as the frequency of incident radiation is kept constant at a value nu greater than nu 0, means both intensity as well as frequency of incident radiation is kept constant at a value nu greater than nu 0, and the positive potential given to the collector with respect to emitter is increased. Whenever collector is given positive potential, it is called as what? An accelerating potential. So what observations will be made? When I intensity is constant, frequency of incident radiation is constant, and the accelerating potential given to the collector, if it goes on increases. Accelerating potential means collector has given positive potential with respect to emitter. Electric field is produced in a space between collector and that of emitter directed from collector towards the emitter. That electric field will accelerate the electron emitted by the emitter towards the collector. Whenever collector has given positive potential with respect to emitter, the electric field in a space between emitter and collector will accelerate the electron towards what? Towards the collector. Hence, as accelerating potential, as we go on increasing the accelerating potential given to the collector with respect to emitter, it will attract more and more electron towards it, means photoelectric current or photocurrent will goes on increases with increasing what? Accelerating potential. Finally, a stage is reached where the number of electrons emitted per second by the emitter, they becomes equal to number of electrons collected per unit time by the collector. Now remember, when rate of collection of electron by the collector, it becomes equal to what? Rate of emission of electron by the emitter, then that photocurrent will reaches to its maximum value, and any further increase in accelerating potential will not increases the value of photocurrent. Why? Because photocurrent depends on number of electrons collected by the collector, and because collector is collecting maximum number of electron, at what condition? When the rate of collection of electron by collector, it becomes equal to rate of emission of electron by the emitter. And also you remember that for a given intensity, this intensity of incident radiation, it will decide the maximum number of incident photon. More the intensity of incident light, more will be the number of photons incident on the emitter plate. So the intensity of incident light will decide maximum number of incident photon, which ultimately decide the maximum number of electrons that are knocked off from the metal surface. Means for a given intensity of incident light, maximum number of electrons knocked off, they are fixed, and when all these maximum number of electrons knocked off will be attracted or collected by the collector, then the photoelectric current, it will reaches to its maximum value. Photoelectric current, it will reaches to its what? maximum value. So this will explain that fourth observations of an experiment on photoelectric effect. Remember that if I increase the intensity of light, if I increase the intensity of incidence radiation, what it will increases? Increase in intensity of incident radiation, naturally it will increases what? It will increases the maximum number of incident photon, means maximum number of photon incident on the emitter plate will depend on intensity of incident radiation. It means maximum number of photons that are ejected from the emitter plate will be decided by what? Will be decided by intensity. Ultimately, the maximum photoelectric current, it will depends on what? Maximum number of electrons emitted per unit time by the emitter plate. But what is maximum number of electron collected by the collector? They will produce a maximum photoelectric current. So in short, you remember that intensity of incident radiation will decide maximum number of incident photon, which in turn decide maximum number of electrons which are knocked off from the surface of metal, which ultimately decide the maximum photoelectric current. That maximum photoelectric current is called the saturation current. Means greater the intensity of incident radiation, say I02, this is I01. If I02 is greater than I01, if I02 means intensity I2 is greater than I1, then the saturation current I02 is greater than what? I01. So increase in intensity of incident radiation will also increases the saturation current. Increase in intensity of incident radiation will also increases what? The value of saturation current. The next and that important sixth observation, it is regarding the dependence of maximum kinetic energy of photoelectrons. As you know that when incidence radiation of frequency nu, is allowed to incident on the metal surface, what is the energy carried by photon? Photon will carry h nu amount of energy. And when this photon of energy h nu collides with what? An electron, free electron, that entire h nu energy will be absorbed by the free electron. Energy gain absorbed or energy gained by electron is h nu. Once the entire h nu energy is gained by electron, existence of photon will no longer be there. Now if the energy gained by electron is greater than or equal to photoelectric work function, which is equal to what? H nu 0. If the energy gained by an electron, free electron, is greater than or equal to what? Greater than or equal to photoelectric work function, which is a property of material of an emitter plate, then only there will be an emission of photoelectron, because the energy gained by electron will be utilized by the electron in a two ways. Part of h nu energy will be used by electron to escape itself from the metal surface. That minimum amount of energy required by an electron to escape itself from the surface of metal is called photoelectric work function. That photoelectric work function, say it be denoted by phi 0. Still that electron has an additional energy which is utilized by that electron in the form of maximum kinetic energy. Means the energy gained by electron, if it is greater than or equal to what? Photoelectric work function, then electron will utilizes that h nu amount of energy in a two ways. First to escape itself from the surface of metal, that minimum amount of energy required by an electron to escape from the surface of metal is the photoelectric work function of the material of emitter plate, and the remaining amount of energy will be utilized by that electron in the form of what? Maximum kinetic energy. And hence the maximum kinetic energy of ejected photoelectron is equal to h nu minus of phi 0. This is Einstein's photoelectric equation. And according to this Einstein's photoelectric equation, the maximum kinetic energy of ejected photoelectron, it depends on photoelectric work function. It means maximum kinetic energy of ejected photoelectron, it depends on the material of emitter plate. And secondly, maximum kinetic energy of photoelectron, it varies linearly with the frequency of incidence radiation. Means greater is the frequency of incidence radiation, greater will be the maximum kinetic energy acquired by photoelectron. Smaller is the frequency of incidence radiation, smaller is the maximum kinetic energy acquired by free electron. And the third one, that maximum kinetic energy of photoelectrons, they are independent of intensity of incident radiation. So as far as this sixth observation is concerned, three important conclusions that we have to draw. The first conclusion, maximum kinetic energy, it is a property of metal or material of which that emitter plate is made up of, because phi 0 is a function of material of emitter plate. Second thing, maximum kinetic energy, it varies linearly with frequency of incidence radiation. And the third one, the maximum kinetic energy of emitted photoelectron is independent of intensity of incident radiation. Now, the seventh and the most important observation, that is regarding dependence of stopping potential. Remember, stopping potential, it varies linearly with frequency of incidence radiation. Stopping potential, it depends on the material of emitter plate, and stopping potential, it is independent of intensity of incident radiation. These are the three observations. You know that in photoelectric emission, when radiations were allowed to incident on the emitter plate, suppose this is an emitter plate of thickness T. When radiations were allowed to incident on the emitter plate, it means photon carrying h nu energy, they will collide with what? Free electrons. And if the amount of energy gained by electron is more than photoelectric work function, then we know that electrons are emitted from the surface of metal. Remember here, maximum or the kinetic energy of ejected photoelectrons are different. Why it is so? From the metal surface, when radiation of suitable frequency were allowed to incident, means when incident radiation of frequency nu greater than nu 0 were allowed to incident on the metal surface, electrons are emitted from the metal surface, and these emitted electrons, they will have different kinetic energy, means electrons are ejected with what? Different kinetic energy, means their velocities are different. Why it is so? Because the electrons which are emitted from the metal surface, they are actually emitted from the varying depth of metal surface. Those electrons which are lying in the atom on the near side of metal surface, they will eject with maximum kinetic energy because they have to penetrate very less thickness of a metal plate, means they undergo less number of collision, means very less loss of energy by the electron. Whereas if I just consider the collision between photon and electron, which is the free electrons of atom lying in what? Lying in the depth of a metal surface. This electron from the depth of a metal surface, it has to penetrate the large thickness of metal plate. Means this electron undergoes what? Multiple collision. During each collision, this electron will loses its kinetic energy. So because the electrons which are emitted from the depth of metal surface, as it undergoes large number of collision, means it will loses what? Large amount of energy, hence it will eject from the surface of metal whose kinetic energy is what? Small as compared to that of kinetic energy of electron emitted from the near side of metal surface. Whereas those electrons which are emitted from the far side of metal surface, means which are emitted from the depth of metal surface, as they undergoes large number of collision during their penetration through the metal surface, so they will loses more energy and they will eject with somewhat less kinetic energy. They will eject with somewhat less kinetic energy. So here I can say that electrons are ejected from the emitter plate with different kinetic energy because they are emitted from the varying depth of emitter plate. Varying depth of emitter plate. Let this collector is given a potential V and collector is kept at lower potential as compared to that of emitter. It means collector has given retarding potential. Collector has given what? Retarding potential. So as far as the kinetic energy of ejected electron is concerned, the electrons which are emitted from the emitter, already here we are giving what? We are applying a retarding potential to the collector, means negative potential is given to the collector. So the kinetic energy of this emitted electron will be utilized to overcome the retarding force, because when collector is given retarding potential, means it is at negative potential and it will exert a retarding force. And in case if kinetic energy of electron is not sufficient to overcome the retarding force, then no electron can reach the collector. No electron can reach the collector, hence photoelectric current, it remains zero. Photoelectric current, it remains zero. Now let us consider those electrons whose kinetic energy is Ke max. Which electron has maximum kinetic energy? Those electrons which are ejected with what? Which are ejected with maximum velocity. So consider the electron, the most energetic electron which are ejected from the emitter plate, and if its kinetic energy is Ke max. Ke max is what? Kinetic energy of highly energetic electron emitted from the emitter. If I say minus V0 is the stopping potential. What is stopping potential? It is that negative potential which when applied to anode will repel those electrons which are ejected with maximum kinetic energy, so that photoelectric current becomes zero. That negative potential is called a stopping potential. So potential multiplied by charge on electron. What is charge on electron? Minus E. So E into V0, minus of minus, it becomes plus. So E into V0, it is potential energy. Ke max, it is what? The maximum kinetic energy, or it is the kinetic energy possessed by highly energetic electron. Minus V0 is a stopping potential, which is actually a negative potential given to the collector with respect to that of emitter. So the potential energy is what? Charge on electron multiplied by stopping potential. Now see here, if Ke max is less than EV0, means that highly energetic electron is unable to overcome the retarding potential. Means highly energetic electron is unable to reach the collector, means photoelectric current, it remains 0 so long as Ke max is less than EV0. We may have a condition that Ke max, when it becomes equal to EV0, means those electrons which are ejected with what? High energy, highly energetic electron whose maximum kinetic energy equal to EV0, means that highly energetic electron will just reach the collector and it will utilizes its entire kinetic energy to overcome what? That retarding force. Means that highly energetic electron, it utilizes its entire kinetic energy to reach near to the collector, but still it is unable to reach the collector, and photoelectric current for this condition Ke max equal to EV0, photoelectric current, it becomes equal to what? 0. So what here? That electrons are ejected from the emitter plate with a different kinetic energy, because those electrons are ejected from what? Varying depth of metal surface. If minus V0 is a stopping potential and Ke max, it is the kinetic energy of highly energetic electron emitted from the emitter, and if Ke max is less than EV0, means that electron kinetic energy of highly energetic electron is unable to overcome the retarding potential, so it will not reach the collector and photoelectric current, it remains 0. Or if Ke max equal to EV0, here the entire maximum kinetic energy of that highly energetic electron will be utilized to reach near to the collector, but photoelectric current still here it remains equal to what? 0. It means from the Einstein's photoelectric equation, h nu is equal to phi 0, h nu is equal to phi 0 plus Ke max. This is Einstein's photoelectric equation, or Ke max, maximum kinetic energy, equal to h nu minus of phi 0, where phi 0 is photoelectric work function. Now from this equation, as we know, Ke max, maximum kinetic energy of highly energetic photoelectron, is nothing but the retarding potential energy, EV0, kinetic energy equal to potential energy according to law of conservation of energy. So therefore this equation will becomes EV0 equal to h nu minus of phi 0, or V0 equal to h nu by E minus phi 0 divided by E. And from this here you can say that the stopping potential, it depends on the material of emitter plate. Stopping potential depends on phi 0, means stopping potential depends on the material of emitter plate. Stopping potential varies linearly with frequency of incident radiation. See here, V0 can increases or decreases with increase or decrease in frequency. Means stopping potential, it varies linearly with frequency of incident radiation, and here there is no term of intensity, means you can say stopping potential is independent of intensity of incident radiation. Stopping potential is independent of intensity of incident radiation. Now the last observation, that if the kinetic energy of ejected photoelectron, just now we had seen V0 is the stopping potential, EV0 is the potential retarding energy, means potential energy, if kinetic energy of ejected photoelectron is less than EV0, then no photoelectron can reach the collector. No photoelectron can reach the collector. It means what? No photoelectric current is there. That is, photoelectric current is equal to 0. Whereas, if the kinetic energy, maximum kinetic energy of ejected photoelectron is greater than EV0, if the kinetic energy of ejected photoelectron is greater than what? EV0, means ejected electron can reach the collector and they will produces a photoelectric current. Now, if Ke max, maximum kinetic energy, it is actually the kinetic energy of highly energetic electron emitted from the emitter. If it is equal to EV0, if it is equal to what? EV0, then photoelectric current, it becomes equal to 0, and that Einstein's equation, which is what? Ke max equal to h nu minus of phi 0. Ke max you can replace it by EV0 equal to h nu minus of phi 0, or stopping potential V0 equal to, divide both the side by E. So h by E into nu minus of phi 0 divided by E. So you are having the relation, and from this relation, if we plot already while performing the experiment on photoelectric effect, in the last observation we had plotted the graph like this, where we had taken this emitter plate of different metal A. First we had taken the emitter plate of metal A, then we had taken the emitter plate of metal B. So see how the stopping potential V0 is varying with frequency of incidence radiation. What you can say here? Stopping potential, it varies linearly with frequency of what? Incident radiation. As the frequency of incident radiation goes on increases, stopping potential for given metal will goes on increases. So stopping potential varies linearly with frequency of incident radiation. Now see here, as far as the slope of these straight lines are concerned, both these straight lines, they will have a slope which depends on Planck's constant h and the charge on electron. Actually h by E is the slope of both the straight line. But remember here, these two straight lines, they are having different intercept. These two straight line, they are having what? Different intercept on y-axis. Actually that intercept will gives us the photoelectric work function for that particular metal. So remember that for different material of which that emitter plate is made up of, slope of stopping potential versus frequency of incident radiation is same, that is h by E, but their intercept, y-intercepts, they are different for different material. Y-intercept, they are different for what? Different material. As photoelectric work function, they are different for different material. So in examination, you may be asked some question on the basis of this graph. What this y-intercept means? It will represent the photoelectric work function for the material of which that emitter plate is made up of. Always remember, whenever there is a graph of stopping potential against frequency of incidence radiation, whatever may be the material of emitter plate, slope is always same, and that is equal to h by E, where h is Planck's constant, and E is charge on electron. And the last one, that if the frequency of incident radiation is constant at a value nu greater than nu 0, and for a given positive potential, when a positive potential given to the collector with respect to emitter, means if the accelerating potential is constant, frequency of incident radiation is kept constant at a value nu greater than nu 0, then remember here photoelectric current, it will increases with increase in intensity of incident radiation, because greater the intensity of incident radiation means larger will be the number of incident photon, means a large number of photoelectrons are emitted. Ultimately photoelectric current will increases with increase in intensity of incident radiation. So this is all about how Einstein's postulate of quantization of energy will be able to explain the observations of experiment on experimental results of photoelectric effect.